Bonjour tout le monde and welcome into my kitchen, the Gay Gourmand here. I love a good breakfast burrito. A few months back I had a friend visiting me and we went to this really good breakfast place, local breakfast place, and I had a breakfast burrito, and this burrito was so good. It had crispy potatoes, refried beans, some white cheddar cheese, and some salsa off to the side. And I wanted to recreate it, but using some of the spices that I love using, like garlic and chili pepper. Now, making a breakfast burrito, it's pretty basic, but I want to show you some techniques that can take your breakfast burrito to the next level, such as using starch with your potatoes to get that crisp, soaking your beans overnight to get rid of that excess air, and what type of cheese to use in your burrito as well. This is a great foundation. It's amazing as is, but you of course can customize it however you like. So let's get started and let me show you how easy it is to make a restaurant quality breakfast burrito. The longest part will be your refried beans. They take about an hour and a half to go ahead and boil and get soft before you mash them up. So let's get started and I will show you where to begin. To start with this breakfast burrito, I'm going to kick it off with the pinto beans because, again, the beans take the longest to prepare for this burrito. These have actually been soaking overnight in a bowl of water just to get the extra air out. I'll show you a picture on my website, but I have a really cool shot of some of the air bubbles coming out of the beans. And you don't have to do this, but I just like to remove the excess air from the beans. I also sorted out my beans and I removed any that were broken. You also do that just to make sure there's no little hard beans or hard little rocks that could have made its way into your pinto bean bag. So just go ahead and sort your beans and remove any that are damaged or anything that might look hard, and then soak the rest in water. I have a cup of pinto beans here. So now I'm gonna remove the excess water and put the pinto beans in some boiling water to begin the next step. Okay, my water's starting to boil. I'll go ahead and pour in my pinto beans. And this is where you will really get to be creative with your seasonings and spices. I'm gonna add in some chopped white onion, about a teaspoon of minced garlic, and then just a little bit of some chili crunch. This is the brand that I'm using. It's Momofuku. It's so good. I always have this on hand. And I could not forget just a pinch of salt. Just mix everything up. And then you want to bring it to another boil for about 10 minutes. And then go ahead and put it on low to simmer. And add more water as the water levels start to go down because you want to constantly make sure that your beans are staying hydrated throughout this process and really getting those spices infused. And this whole process will take about 1.5 hours. And you can always do a test by taking out one of your beans and then seeing if it will squish in between your fingers, if they're soft enough. So it's been about 30 minutes now. I have the beans on simmer. There's still a good amount of water, so I'm gonna let these be, but now I can work on making my potatoes crispy and delicious. To start the process with potatoes, I've got a pot of boiling salt water. Make sure that your water is heavily salted. I have a cut up russet potato, just one, in good sized chunks. I don't want them in small cubes, I want them in chunks. And this process takes about 12 minutes. You want the potatoes to boil in salt water because you want them to cook the inside, but you don't want to completely have them soft. So I'm gonna let them sit here and I'll just check on them for the next couple of minutes, let them come to a boil, and then remove them after about 12 minutes. My potatoes have been boiling now for about 12 minutes. I'm gonna remove them from the stove, drain the water out, and then I'm gonna put them back to let them just sit in their heat for about 5 minutes. I let the potatoes sit for about 5 minutes and you can see that they're a little rough on the edges. I gave them a little toss because all those rough edges will give them a really good crisp at the very end of this process. But now I'm gonna grab my potatoes, put them in a bowl, and this is the part where you will season them however you like. Because our beans will have a little spice, I wanted to go ahead and complement the potatoes, but first I'm going to start with a little olive oil. I have some black pepper. We'll do a sprinkle of parsley, some onion powder, and then a little garlic powder. I almost forgot the most important step, adding 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch. This is very important if you want to have your potatoes have that golden crisp. This helps absorb the moisture of your potatoes when they're baking in the oven, along with giving them a good exterior crisp at the end. And I'm just lightly mixing this up. I don't want to have mashed potatoes after all. So now I'll just grab my baking sheet and line these up. Give your potatoes plenty of room from each other. We'll bake them on 430 for about 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, so I'll see you back in about 40 minutes or so. So I've got the potatoes in the oven. I'm going to use this skillet to do my final step with the beans, but right now I'm going to drain. I'm going to keep a cup of your bean water for just here in a second. I'll put my skillet on about a little bit more than low, and I have 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I'm going to let this melt down before I add in my drained beans. And you can see here, because the onion chunks were large enough, I just removed the onions with a fork. And then I was able to save just a little less than a cup of that bean water, which we'll use here just in a second. So my butter is about halfway melted. I'm gonna add 1/4 a cup of the bean water. Go ahead and add in my beans. I actually don't like my beans completely mashed, so I'm going to leave some whole beans in there, but still mash about 3/4 of them down. If they don't have the consistency that you want, meaning that they look a little dry, just add a little bit more of that bean water. And 5 minutes later, this is the consistency I'm going for. It is mainly mashed, but you can see there's some whole beans in there. So I'm going to remove them from the burner and put them in a separate bowl, and our potatoes should be done here shortly, so I can go ahead and make my scrambled eggs. One of my favorite parts is taking the potatoes out of the oven and giving them a crunch test. Look how beautiful. I'm going to do one of the smaller ones. Oh yeah, no, perfect. Perfectly seasoned, perfectly crisp. Now we'll just start assembling our breakfast burrito with our scrambled egg, cheese, beans, and potatoes. I went ahead and used the heat from the potatoes to just melt the cheese down a little bit. So I'm gonna put some scrambled eggs right at the bottom. And normally you wouldn't coat your crispy potatoes because they will get a little soggy, but because I'm going to eat them right away, I'm just going to coat a handful of them in some garlic olive oil. Yum, yum, yum. And I'll grab a nice big scoop of those refried beans that we made earlier, and then just repeat the process, just a little less eggs this time. Some more of those potatoes, just lightly coated in that garlic olive oil. And then 1 final scoop of those beans. We'll fold in both ends, and we'll just wrap, 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 wrap. Perfection. And voila, you have a homemade breakfast burrito that you would think you just picked up from a restaurant. So let's give it a taste. I'm so excited. I have some of my fresh homemade salsa, which I'll link to in this at the end of this video. Oh wow, looks so good. You can hear the crunch of the potato, can't you? This is such a great way to enjoy the morning. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this breakfast burrito, and I really hope that you try it out at your home for you and your guests. Until next time, remember to cook and bake fearlessly.